Yes.
Mr. Mattson, don't interrupt me, please.
Right,
Mr. Mattson, do not interrupt me, please.
I think the court is making a big mistake here.
Mr. Mattson,
I've never signed anything for
Mr.
the court.
Mattson, if you don't stop talking, I'm going to your device.
Well, I didn't want
Mr.
Mr.
Mattson,
Daly
stop
as my
talking.
attorney. I'm a living flesh and blood man. They're trying to sentence an all caps name. It's not me. I'm a living flesh and blood man. You're after a fictional person. The only one I've ever taken an oath to is God Almighty himself. One judge. That's God Almighty. That's who I recognize.
And sir, you are Robert Joseph Mattson, correct?
So,
Welcome back, guys. So this guy strolls into court acting like the Constitution personally gave him a hall pass, and spoiler alert, he gets wrecked. He's tossing out all the classic sovereign citizen lines like he just learned them on Reddit, but the judge isn't having any of it. No eye rolls, no warnings, just straight gavel energy from the start. It's like watching a toddler argue taxes with their dad. It's delusional, loud, and somehow hilarious. And the best part is he genuinely believes he's winning. I'm still trying to figure out if he actually believes this stuff, or if he just googled how to go to jail with confidence. But seriously, how do these people exist and drive cars? Let's dive in.
I'm a living flesh and blood man, attorney for a public officer or statutory citizen judge. I'm a living flesh and blood man.
All right. You are the living flesh and blood man who's known as Robert Mattson, correct?
Attorney for Robert Joseph Mattson, which would be the all caps name. Judge, there was something that I was trying to talk to my attorney about. Before you let me out of the hospital, I was in the hospital or the jail. I was experiencing a lot of pain and trouble. The jail was not treating me properly. After I got out of the jail, I went to the hospital, and they hurried and rushed me to Toledo Hospital, where I almost died. Had I not been released from jail when I did, I would be dead in that county jail.
All right, Mr. Mattson, we're here for your sentencing hearing today. I'm not really able to address issues of medical treatment while at the jail.
Well, I was just saying that there was something I agreed to.
Mr. Mattson, don't interrupt me, please. The medical treatment that people receive at the jail is not within my purview, and I'm not going to address that today. So,
well, I was just saying I was going to address
Mr. Mattson, do not interrupt me, please. Have you had an opportunity to read and review your pre-sentence report?
I did with the secretary for Mr. Daly.
Have you had an opportunity to discuss your pre-sentence report with Mr. Daly?
I haven't had an opportunity to discuss it with him. I did with the secretary.
My secretary got a hold of him.
Mr. Daly, if you could just let me allow him to finish his answer. What were you saying, Mr. Mattson?
I did with the secretary. I talked to her over the phone and told her everything looked good. And I believe Mr. Daly was supposed to get back a hold of me. I don't know if he got too busy or something else happened.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Mattson. Mr. Daly, you wanted to say something on that issue.
Yes, my secretary contacted him in regards to the PSI. He said everything was right. He had no complaints about anything. I still tried to contact him back, didn't get an answer.
All right. So what we'll do is have, if Mr. Daly, if you'd be willing to step out into the hallway, we have an iPad out there that we can log into the Zoom session.
But I don't think he needs that. He's ready to be sentenced, Your Honor. You have any other questions, Mr. Mattson?
Yeah, Judge, I think the court is making a big mistake here. I've not.
I appreciate that, Mr. Mattson. And we've discussed it.
Any of my rights or immunities. I'm not a statutory citizen. I am sovereign. I'm not somebody who's under the
Mr. Mattson,
I've never signed anything to.
Mr. Mattson, if you don't stop talking, I'm going to your device.
This dude's brain is playing bumper cars with logic at this point. Just straight up chaos. He's up here acting like the judge is gonna hear his rant and suddenly go, you know what, you're right, you are above the law. Like, bro, the only thing you're above is that pile of bad decisions. If he starts talking about how his strawman identity was kidnapped by the DMV, I'm tapping out.
Okay. I've discussed all of these issues with you before.
Okay.
And
well, I object, but I mean,
Mr. Mattson, all right. I've muted Mr. Mattson's device because he won't stop interrupting me. Mr. Mattson, what I'm trying to tell you is that we have discussed these issues before. You've raised those issues. I've ruled against those issues. And ultimately, you pled guilty of your own choice to the controlled substance possession of narcotic less than 25 grams. And so I'm going to sentence you on that charge today. If you'd like, I will have Mr. Daly step into the hall and you can have a breakout session with him so you can speak with him about your pre-sentence investigation report. If you have questions or things that you want to talk with him about regarding that report. So I'm going to unmute your device now, and I want you to tell me whether you want a breakout session with Mr. Daly or not.
Hello?
Yes, we can hear you now. Do you want a breakout session with Mr. Daly?
Well, I've tried to talk to Mr. Daly before, I mean,
Mr.
about this.
Mattson,
And,
answer my question. Do you
Yes,
want
sir.
a breakout session with Mr. Daly or not?
Your Honor, you're going to do what you're going to do. I mean, I've tried to talk to the courts and reason with the courts. I mean, if you're going to sentence me today, then I just file for an appeal. I'm an objection to anything that happens today. I was under duress when I took the plea due to my life was at stake.
Mr. Mattson, please answer my question. Do you want a breakout session with Mr. Daly or not?
Mr. Daly hasn't been much of help for me, Your Honor. So I mean,
That is not an answer to my question, Mr. Mattson. Please answer the question. Do you want a breakout session with him or not?
Sorry, Your Honor. It just ain't been doing me any help, no justice at all. I mean, I've already said what I had to say. If the courts is going to sentence me today, then that's what they're going to do. I don't agree with anything that's going on today. I'm sorry. It's just my life was at stake when I had talked to the courts.
All right, Mr. Mattson, please stop
Yes, sir.
talking. So you refuse to answer my question about whether you want a breakout session with Mr. Daly or not. The law
Well, I didn't
entitled-
want
Mr.
Mr.
Mattson,
Daly
stop
as my
talking.
attorney. Yes, sir.
The record, I placed Mr. Mattson on mute again because he's continually interrupting me. Mr. Mattson, what I'm trying to explain to you is that you have the right to discuss your pre-sentence report with your attorney before the sentencing.
This guy really walked into court dressed like he's about to film a survival video in his backyard, not face a judge. The hat, the attitude, the nonstop interruptions. It's like he's auditioning for the role of most chaotic courtroom guest and nailing it. At this point, he's less of a defendant and more of a walking anti-law TED Talk no one asked for. And you just know the judge is counting down the seconds until they can drop that sentence like a piano in a cartoon.
I've asked you 4, 5, maybe 6 times now whether you want to have the opportunity for that breakout session, and you won't give me a simple yes or no answer. So what I'm going to do right now is ask Mr. Daly to step into the hallway. We'll set up that iPad. I'm going to put you in a breakout session with Mr. Daly in order to make sure that I comply with with your rights to have that breakout session. So at this point, I'm going to set that up, whether you want it or not, so that we have complied with that requirement.
A few minutes later.
Judge, I just had a repeat of him from the conversation you already had. I'm prepared for sentencing.
All right, Mr. Mattson, you've now had an opportunity to discuss the pre-sentence report with Mr. Daly. Is that correct?
No, he didn't want to hear me, Your Honor. He just told me that he was here to get me sentenced. I tried to talk to him about things. I tried to talk to him before we even went to court about things that was going on with my life and me about dying, and as far as being incarcerated in jail, which he didn't ever try to help me out, because if he would have did an investigation and known that I was in court and I was wrongfully put in jail. I told him I'm not a statutory citizen. I'm a constitutional citizen. I mean, he don't care to do anything to help me. All he cares about is just helping you guys out and get me sucked into the system. And it's wrong.
All right, for the record, I did provide Mr. Mattson with an opportunity with Mr. Daly in a breakout session. Mr. Mattson.
Yes, sir.
Satisfied with Mr. Daly and the advice that he's given you?
I'm not satisfied with the advice he's giving me, no, sir.
Do you wish to explain or challenge the accuracy or the relevancy of any of the information that's in your pre-sentence report?
the stuff that's in the pre-sentence report is directed to a statutory citizen. I'm not a statutory citizen. I'm a constitutional citizen. You cannot be a constitutional person and a statutory person at the same time, Your Honor. You have to be constitutional rights, which the court's designed to protect rights. So I was asking you, Judge, are you working as a banker or a judge today? I mean, there's nothing to show that there's even a is there anything to show that there's even a contract between us? I mean, is there?
This isn't a contract issue, Mr. Mattson.
Well,
it's a criminal law
In order
issue.
for the
and
crime to exist,
it's
Your Honor,
judged
there must be an
today.
injured party. Is there an injured party? I mean, in the constitutional rights, share vistas colon 481 F 945. In order for there to be a crime, there ought to be an injured party. If there's no injured party, there's no crime.
Right,
I mean,
Mr. Mattson, you're arguing the basis of your conviction. Again, you pled guilty to this charge. What I'm asking you is whether, Mr. Mattson, what I'm asking you is whether
This man is acting like he accidentally wandered into court thinking it was open mic night. He's rambling, twitchy, and genuinely looks surprised that actions have consequences. Like, dude, this isn't a game of Monopoly. You don't just skip jail because you said no thank you. I'm not saying he's high, but if he isn't, then this might be one of the worst performances by a fully sober person in legal history. And just to clear it up, yes, threatening a judge is still a crime, even if you say it with a smile and call it free speech.
You'd wish to explain or challenge the accuracy or the relevancy of any of the information that is in your pre-sentence report. So is any of that information inaccurate?
Inaccurate as far as the person that reports they're trying to sentence an all caps name. It's not me. I'm a living flesh and blood man. You're after a fictional person.
All right. So with respect to that argument, what the court will say is that I will leave the information that is in the pre-sentence report in the pre-sentence report and deny what seems to be some kind of a request to modify the pre-sentence report based on an argument that doesn't state any cognizable legal theory about a difference between Mr. Mattson as a human being and Mr. Mattson as something else. So the pre-sentence report will stand.
Well, Your Honor, you never even explained to me what the jurisdiction was. I tried from the beginning to
Mr.
see what the
Mattson,
jurisdiction
all
of
right.
the court is.
I'm going to mute Mr. Mattson again because he continues to interrupt me with a line of argument that I don't even know what to say about it. It just is, it's not a legal argument at all. It is some kind of fanciful belief that there's a difference between Mr. Mattson, the human being, and Mr. Mattson as some other entity, which is not recognized by the law, and I'm not going to entertain it any further. The probation officers calculated the minimum sentencing guidelines in this case to be from 0 to 9 months. Do you agree with that computation of guidelines?
Your Honor. I do.
Thank you. Before the court passes sentence, Mr. Daly, is there anything you'd like to say on behalf of Mr. Mattson?
I've had the same conversations with Mr. Mattson the courts have. He's never wanted to talk about this case. He's always wanted to talk about what he perceived are constitutional issues. He pled guilty. He knew what he was doing. I do know that. I'm prepared to complete the sentencing now.
All right, Mr. Mattson, in a moment, I'm going to unmute your microphone and I'm going to give you an opportunity for allocution. That's an opportunity to say anything that you'd like to say on your own behalf before the court passes sentence.
Yes, sir.
This lawyer's soul left his body about 5 minutes ago. You can just see it in his eyes. He's not defending a client. He's surviving a hostage situation with extra paperwork. Imagine putting in all that time, money, and brain power just to end up translating gibberish for a guy who thinks Google search results are legal evidence. At this point, the lawyer deserves a medal, a nap, and maybe a hug from the judge.
Can you
All
hear
right,
me?
is there anything you'd like to say on your own behalf?
You said that I can say anything that I wish before sentencing.
You can.
I'm sorry, sir.
You can.
Okay. Yeah, yes, sir. Your Honor. I mean, before I took that plea, I told Mr. Daly that I wanted to sit there. I wanted him to sit there, get the cameras for the courts to prove that I was at the court date the day that I was put in jail, and said that that I wasn't in the court for a contempt of court. He said, and I told him I wanted to fight my case, but I had to be out because I had medical issues. Mr. Daly said that's fine and all, but if you stay here and you fight this case, they'll keep you in here for a year fighting your case. You will not be let out of jail. Your Honor, I couldn't do that. I was in major pain. I would have died in that jail. My proof is within the doctor's records in the hospital. I had a serious condition which would have left me dead within a week from the time that I took the plea. The following day after I got up, my wife was killed in a car accident. Just everything's been going downhill for me ever since. And now this with the courts. I don't feel that I've had a fair chance with the courts ever since I even started with the courts, because the courts has not proven jurisdiction to me. I've not written any papers out agreeing in the contract saying that the courts can have any kind of jurisdiction over me. I have not relinquished any sovereign immunities that I have. I just don't feel like there's been anything fair, which is not going to be with the court system. I mean, I've tried to say I'm not a statutory person who is within your jurisdiction. If anything, I'd be considered constitutional, but I'm not even under the constitutional laws, but I will use them if I feel necessary as a constitutional living flesh and blood man. There is no injured party. The only injured party would be the state's laws, which the state cannot be the prosecutor, the injured party, and the judge. Nothing's right. The court case either had been dismissed or moved to a higher court. And I wasn't going to sit there and be left in jail to fight my case for a year. I would have been dead. I'd have been stupid not to sit there and just agree with a plea that I didn't even agree with in the first place, just to save my life. I don't think that's fair at all. It's not right. There's nothing but wrong here. It's injustice, not justice. You can't be a constitutional person and a statutory person at the same time. Either you're one or the other. And Wi-Fi wasn't working properly on my computer. I couldn't draw up my own paperwork.
Yeah, his situation is rough. Losing a loved one and ending up in a hospital isn't something anyone walks away from the same. But the second he opened his mouth in court and started tossing around that sovereign citizen nonsense like it was going to earn him a get-out-of-jail-free card, the sympathy started fading real quick. It's like watching someone trip, feel bad for them, and then they stand up and punch the mailman for no reason. Grief doesn't give you a license to break the law and pretend you're immune to consequences. So what do you think? Is he just broken or full-blown brain fried?
I've been in nothing but severe pain. I've been able to move around and do much of anything for myself. The only one I've ever taken an oath to is God Almighty himself. There's only one lawgiver, one creator, one judge. That's God Almighty. That's who I recognize. For me to sit there and agree to anything more than that would be me sitting there violating the laws of my God.
All right. In determining the appropriate sentence in this case, the court has considered the seriousness of your offense, your history, the principle of proportionality, the statutory penalty, the cost of confinement, the report and recommendation of the probation department, as well as what's been said on the record here this morning. The criteria and reasons for the sentence are the nature and gravity of the offense, the discipline appropriate to its commission, deterrence against repetition by you and by others, vindication for the law, and the protection of society. As indicated, with respect to these sovereign citizen or whatever the other arguments you're making are, we've dealt with the jurisdiction issue in the past. I've ruled on that on at least one occasion, probably multiple occasions, and that ruling is not going to change. You will have appellate rights if you want to pursue those. You're welcome to do that. But you have pled guilty in this case. I think under normal circumstances, that would be an adequate recommendation with he's gone.
This is the part where he straight up vanishes from the Zoom call like it's a bad Wi-Fi joke, but we all know he hit that leave meeting button on purpose. Probably ran off to consult his favorite Facebook group called something like Freedom Warriors Against Traffic Tickets. You already know he's out there asking someone with a bald eagle profile pic if the Constitution means he can ignore arrest warrants. And the second that judge notices he ghosted court, buckle up, it's about to get spicy.
Oh, is Robert Mattson there, please? Thank you. This is Mike Stevenson, probation. Okay, he had sentencing this morning. He just left the sentence. Judge, I just spoke with a female at the number that he gave me, and she claims that he is at a heart doctor appointment at this time. That's what she claims.
They finally get this guy back on the Zoom call and he's acting like nothing even happened. Just pops back in like he was gone for a lunch break. And then he hits him with the classic, I had a doctor's appointment. Like that somehow cancels out a courtroom no-show. It's giving big, my dog ate my subpoena energy. You'd think someone pretending to know the law would at least pretend to respect the judge's time.
We have everyone back with us now. Mr. Mattson, we are in a court proceeding right now, and so I'm going to ask you not to eat anything and to remove your hood. All right, I'm going to ask you to remove your hood also, Mr. Mattson. Thank you. Mr. Mattson pled guilty to one count of controlled substance, attempted possession of cocaine, heroin, or another narcotic of less than 25 grams, pursuant to a plea agreement which dismissed one count of possession of cocaine, heroin, or another narcotic, dismissed one count of driving the license suspended, and one count of alcohol open container. So the agreement was to one count of attempted possession of a controlled substance, dismissal of the remaining charges, and that was apparently incorrect. There was no sentencing agreement in this case. This is Mr. Mattson's first felony conviction. He does have 4 prior misdemeanors. Those are all from 2015 or earlier. He has 2 2015 cases and 2002 and 2001. And so the recommendation in this case from the probation officer is for a period of 1 year of probation. And I think that, well, it also, I should say, includes restrictions on alcoholic beverages and substance use. And I think that those provisions of terms of probation are appropriate given Mr. Mattson's Compass Needs Assessment scores. He did rate as highly probable in the categories of substance abuse, family criminality, residential instability, and social environment. He does have a substance abuse history of cocaine, fentanyl, painkillers since 2005. I think that it is appropriate to try to get Mr. Mattson some help for his substance abuse problems. The concern I have in this case is that is whether or not Mr. Mattson is going to be willing to comply with the terms of his probation. He has, in numerous court hearings in this case, made a number of what he believes are constitutional and jurisdictional arguments that have absolutely no legal merit whatsoever. And he continued to challenge the court's jurisdiction here this morning. I understand that that may be an honest belief that Mr. Mattson has, and I don't know where it comes from, but I will say Mr. Mattson would be far better off taking legal advice from Mr. Daly than from wherever it is that you're getting it to.
This dude could have the laws carved into stone and hand-delivered by George Washington himself and still be like, nah, that's not valid. He's got a real offer on the table, like an actual way to stay out of jail, and he's treating it like spam mail. It's wild. He's out here acting like he's one sentence away from delivering a legal glitch that lets him walk free. Be honest, do you think he's making it through probation without trying to file a lawsuit against Gravity or something?
Make you believe these arguments, because as I've ruled repeatedly, there's just no merit to them. They're not rational or coherent arguments under the law. And the concern that raises with me is that Mr. Mattson, if he does not believe this court has jurisdiction, why then would he follow the terms of his probation? And so if that's the question, then the question I have to ask myself is why would I put him on probation if there doesn't seem to be any indication that he would follow the terms of the probation? The other side of that coin is that I think a lot of this stems from Mr. Mattson's substance abuse issues, and the better way to get him help for his substance abuse issues is to put him on probation and get him into some kind of services to help him deal with that. So ultimately, Mr. Mattson, I'm going to give you a chance at probation. I hope that you are willing to comply with the requirements that are outlined in terms of your probation, which I'll read to you word for word in a moment so that you're aware of them. If you choose not to comply for the reasons you've stated or any other reasons, you can rest assured you're going to find yourself in violation of the terms of your probation. And then I am going to be imposing other penalties, meaning for you jail time. And I'll just tell you now, it'll be a short leash, because if we continue down this road, I'm already suspect of your ability to comply. So any violations are just going to confirm that for me, and you're going to find that I'm going to lose my willingness to give you a chance. So it will be the sentence of the court that you serve a period of probation for 1 year, that you serve 29 days in the Lenawee County Jail with credit for 29 days served. You must not use or possess alcoholic beverages or other intoxicants. You must not enter bars or other places where the primary purpose is to serve alcoholic beverages for drinking on site, unless the field agent has first given you written permission for your employment at a specific location. You must comply with the requirements of drug and alcohol testing as directed by the field agent. You must not attempt to submit any fraudulent or adulterated samples for testing. You must not hinder, obstruct, tamper, or otherwise interfere with the testing procedures. And you must present proper identification at the time of testing. You must pay the cost of your substance abuse testing. You must not be in possession. You must not use or possess any controlled substances or drug paraphernalia unless prescribed to you by a licensed physician. And you must not be with anyone that you know to possess those items. You must complete an outpatient or residential substance abuse treatment when you are referred by the field agent. You must complete a substance abuse assessment when you are referred by the field agent. You must pay a $30 per month supervision fee, so long as there's no electronic monitoring. If electronic monitoring becomes necessary, that fee increases to $60 per month. You must also pay court costs of $750, an attorney fee of $450, a crime victims' rights fee of $130, and $68 state costs. Do you understand that, Mr. Mattson?
Yes, I do. Hey, Judge, I just had a couple questions, if I may, from you.
I'd like to give people the benefit of the doubt, but with this guy, yeah, not happening. He's got that look like he thinks Mountain Dew counts as a detox and court fees are just optional donations. I mean, the judge hit him with over $1,700 and you can just see his brain buffering like, wait, money's real? Tell me in the comments, do you think he even makes it to his next court date, or is he already Googling how to represent himself using crystals and good vibes?
Concerning what you just said,
All right, what's your question?
well, if there's a crime victims fee, I'd like to know where the victim is, and also, Your Honor, you said something about the jurisdiction. If there's no problem with the jurisdiction, I mean, how come you couldn't tell me exactly which jurisdiction you're operating under? Because I would have to object to what you said. I mean, it don't make no sense to me, Your Honor.
I told you that before, Mr. Mattson. I'll tell you again. I'm operating under the jurisdiction of the Michigan Constitution that sets forth the fact that the state has various circuit courts. I'm the judge of one of those circuit courts. That one be where you were alleged to have committed this crime and where you pled guilty to this crime. As far as the crime victims' rights fee, that is assessed in every case where there is a guilty plea or verdict. That is done pursuant to statute that was enacted by the Michigan legislature, and it is required to be imposed here. So that is why I did it.
Be honest, do you actually think this guy's gonna survive probation without turning it into another courtroom disaster? He treats court like a suggestion box and laws are like rumors. The judge gave him a lifeline and he's out here acting like he's got diplomatic immunity from his Facebook group. I'm giving it 2 weeks before he's back arguing that paying fines violates his energy field. Probation isn't a free-for-all, it's rules, check-ins, and consequences. One wrong move and it's straight back to court. There's no YouTube loophole that's saving him now. If this saga continues, I'll be here for it. Hit like, subscribe for more wild court moments every day, and let me know in the comments, will he make it or crash and burn again? I appreciate you guys for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.